Start the rally going. Hello, VCDL. All right, guys. This is where the rubber meets the road. And I want to thank everybody for coming out. I've seen all you guys working the halls up there. Everybody seemed to beat me to the people that I was going to see, which is exactly what I like to have happen. Yeah, come on down, guys. We'll get a group shot a little bit later. So we have a series of speakers today that are going to be talking on about Lobby Day and our rights and the importance of being here. We also are going to be doing a drawing today. So the lucky winner will get a 50 BMG Subaru rifle. So we'll be doing that as well. So my first speaker is a member of the board of directors for the Virginia Citizens Defense League. He proudly served his country in the Army, and he has a very, very strong sense of patriotism about him. And he got involved some years ago in the movement, and he saw his home there. He realized that there was a new mission for him as a retired military man. So I'd like to introduce Dennis O'Connor.
Good morning, everybody, and thanks for coming out here today. You folks are what really make it happen. It's all of you out here with your orange stickers. That's what really makes the difference. Very interesting. This is the first year ever that I haven't seen any of the handful of anti-freedom people that usually show up. I'm sure there must be one or two around somewhere. Either of them. But the thing is, we come out here and we actually have fun. We enjoy being with each other. We enjoy doing what we're doing. We enjoy our successes. They don't have that. They come out here and they don't even like to be with each other. They get angry, they get frustrated, they lose, you know, it's no good. So they don't have any fun, so I don't blame them for not coming out. I'd like to touch on a little bit some of the arguments that the anti-freedom lobby uses to try to say that we shouldn't have a constitutional right to bear arms. One of the first ones they always throw at us is, oh well, the police will protect you. We don't need all of you people running around because the police will protect you. Well, the police carry guns and they carry them for their own protection. They're not here to be our personal bodyguard, and we know that. And there's been Supreme Court, there's been cases in just about every state in the union that says that. That they're not our personal bodyguard. It's not their fault. They're not going to be there when a crime happens. Criminals are kind of dumb, but I don't really see them saying, oh, I think I'm going to hit this guy over here who's standing next to that armed cop. It just kind of doesn't work that way. So if you get attacked when there's a cop standing next to you, you've hit the lottery, because it just doesn't happen. But on another level, even if I served about 10 years of my military service with the 1st Infantry Division, the Big Red One, and I always say that even if the entire 1st Infantry Division was delegated to be my personable bodyguards and go with me everywhere, I would still not delegate away my constitutional right to bear arms and my right to defend myself. The second things that the gang they typically tell us is, or they try to equate us with criminals, and they'll say things like, well, look what happened at Virginia Tech. That's why you people shouldn't have guns. And we look at those kind of massacres, those kind of evil, horrible things, and say that's why we should have guns. We're not criminals. We're the good guys. At Virginia Tech, when I spoke there, I also brought up the fact that on one of the Brady campaign's websites, they talk about the college students there, particularly the ones that are gun owners, and they said college students who are gun owners are more likely to binge drink, use crack cocaine, vandalize property, DUIs, trouble with police, so forth. Well, they wouldn't have permits in the first place, but it's absolutely a bold-faced lie, and I talked about how offended I would be with that, and little did I know at the time that the handful of anti-freedom lobbyists were standing there and actually had flyers that said all those things that they were handing out to the students there. I mean, way to go. Well, what a great way to get your message apart and just insult the heck out of the people you're trying to reach, you know? You do more of it. I'll probably even help print them out for them. But they're always saying that anytime that there's new legislation that's going to allow people to carry their firearms or exercise their rights in different areas, that there's going to be blood in the streets. They're going to have shopping carts bump or fender benders and everybody's going to shoot each other. And time after time after time, state after state after state, place after place, it doesn't happen. But they still run that same tired argument all over again. And the truth is, a lot of them don't even believe what they're saying anyway. I can't tell you how many times in interactions with the anti-freedom lobbyists that they've shoved some of us, they've insulted us. At one of the college, during the college protest that we're doing, I had what I would otherwise say was a sweet little old lady. Turns out she was one of the English professors there, and I didn't know who she was when she was walking by, but I tried to hand her one of our flyers, and she came up, got up on her tiptoes, got right in my face, and the top of her lungs, she threw F-bombs at me, she cursed me, told me how despicable I was, and you know, if they truly believed that we were that dangerous and shouldn't have firearms, I was standing there with a 1911 government model 445 on my hip while she's abusing me like that. They have a different way of thinking about things for sure. I think some of it is that it's projection. You know, they're not trustworthy. They snap. They're dangerous, and so they kind of project that on everybody else they meet. And one of the things that the anti-freedom lobby constantly throws out is, oh, there's permit holders. You know, Johnny somebody in Colorado had his permit revoked, and he wrote a bad check, or you know, whatever. There's criminals, and some of them did violent crimes, and this and that. Does it ever happen? Sure. Permit holders, gun owners are a subset of the entire population, but statistically, it's insignificant numbers. Right now, there's over 6 million permit holders across the country, and it's growing rapidly. It's growing voluminously across the country. There are far, far more permit holders in America than there are police or law enforcement officers. Yet if you look at the statistics, the number of policemen that are arrested for criminal acts far, far exceeds permit holders, even though the numbers are so different. But even then, even with police officers or permit holders, once again, the numbers are statistically insignificant. And no one should be painted with broad brushes for the actions of a few. None of us think, hopefully, that, you know, when we hear about somebody had a car accident, oh my God, I have a driver's license, they're going to think I'm irresponsible too. They're going to take away my right to drive, you know, and it should be the same for anything else, particularly a constitutional right. One of the things I found on a website from a group called the Coalition to Stop Gun Violence, and it is probably a mistaken moment of clarity or honesty from them, but it actually says on there that yes, it's likely true that concealed permit holders are the most law-abiding citizens in America, but the state laws are too lax to be able to screen them. They always have to throw something else and find some other reason because they just don't like guns. Typically, they'll also tell us that more guns lead to more violence. Justice Department statistics actually prove the opposite. The fewer restrictions on carry, the more there's a reduction in violent crime and no increase in accidents at all. The problem for us are the gun-free zones and the soft targets, like the college campuses, military bases, malls, offices, other workplaces where mass shootings still occur. Once again, the anti-freedom lobbyists point to Virginia Tech and say, you know, this is why people shouldn't be allowed to have guns. Well, let's take a step back and look at that. Virginia Tech was their perfect microcosm of gun control society. They had everything they wanted there. Guns were banned, they were not allowed on campus. They had everything they wanted with Virginia Tech, and gun control, as it always does, fails. Time and time again, gun control fails. The Brady campaign will also tell us that higher household gun ownership correlates with higher rates of shootings. And once again, I mean, let's think about that. If you have a gun in your house, there's more likely to be a shooting in it than a place that doesn't have a gun around. That's like saying people who play baseball have a greater chance of being hit by a baseball than people that don't. I mean, what does that mean? It's worthless smokescreen. The fact is, the guns save lives up to 2 million times a year, based on some very good research. And why don't we hear about that or see more of it? Because nothing happened. There's no headline stuff, you know. A criminal tried to do something, a gun became known to be in play. The criminal said, sorry, didn't mean it, smiles and goes away. So there's no headline stuff. Whereas, you know, the slight little mishap with a firearm ends become national news or international news. So we hear more about that. One of the things that the anti-gun or the anti-freedom people are telling us now, they're focusing on training. Oh, the training isn't enough. Gun owners don't get enough training. They don't get as much as the police. Well, we're not the police, you know, and Having served a career in the military and having a lot of interaction with police, I can tell you that it's a falsehood that